Good morning, Rangers. I'm Soha.
And I'm Irene.
And welcome back to CTV. Today is September 11, 2024.
On this day, 23 years ago, terrorist attack involved in the hijacking of 4 planes by Al-Qaeda militants, resulting in 2 crashing into the World Trade Center towers in New York City and another into the Pentagon. The 4th plane, United 93, was drowned by passengers in Pennsylvania to avoid terrorists using the plane as a weapon. The terrorist attack led to nearly 3,000 deaths and significant global political military repercussions.
Let's watch a clip with Layla, Ayat, and Nicole to see where our Ranger staff were on this tragic day.
Hey Rangers, it's Nicole.
And Layla, and today we're going to be asking Clemens staff about what happened on 9/11.
On September 11, 2001, Islamic terrorist group took over 4 airplanes. 2 of the planes were crashed into the Twin Towers, New York City, causing them to fall. Another plane hit in Pentagon, Washington, D.C. The 4th plane crashed in another field in Pennsylvania as passengers tried to stop the hijackers.
Nearly 3,000 people died in these attacks, which led to big changes in how the United States deals with security and foreign policy.
I'm with Ms. Flores, and when 9/11 was occurring, she was in Long Island, New York, so she's going to tell us what happened.
Okay, that morning, woke up like any other morning. I wasn't teaching until the afternoon, and a friend called, and she told me that a plane had hit one of the Twin Towers and it had collapsed. It was terrifying. I didn't know if we were at war. Nobody knew. They closed down the bridges to Long Island. All the planes were down. No public transportation, and it was really one of the scariest things of my life. Now, what I remember the most about that day, what I choose to remember, is the love. One of my students' best friends, her mother was in the Twin Towers. She knew she had no way out, but that she loved them. The email went through. And despite anything that happened, we're strong as a people, like just about everyone is. There are a lot more stories than I have from that day, but something that we shouldn't forget. And, we need to band together and help each other. It's the best I can say.
Hi, I'm with Dr. Crespo, and he's going to be telling us what he was doing during 9/11.
Well, 9/11 is a very important date for me because my firstborn son was born the day before 9/11. Matter of fact, 11:27 p.m. to be exact on 9/10. So today's his birthday, so happy birthday to my son, Stephen. There were some complications with my son's birth, and so they had to put him into NICU, which is the newborn intensive care unit. And so I had to stay that night to watch him, to watch my wife, just to make sure everything was okay. And so the next morning, I see these nurses just running around crazy around the hospital. So I'm looking at the news, and I see the first tower had already dropped. And I couldn't believe it because I'm from New York and have a lot of family in New York, so I was already freaking out, what's going on with my family and is everybody okay? And then all of a sudden I see that second plane hit the second tower, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And so very, very tragic time. So we definitely can never forget. We always need to remember. Very, very tragic time in our history, but we never will forget.
Thank you.
I'm with Mr. English, and during 9/11, he was here at Clemens High School, so he's going to tell us what he was doing that time.
As I was leaving my second period class, which was engineering graphics, and that's when I heard something happened in New York. We found out that the World Trade Center was hit by an airplane. During that time frame, we were able to witness both towers fall during the third period class time. After that, then most classes did try to continue on with the lessons for the day as a way as a distractor and not dwell too much. Other classes, they realized that trying to do a lesson was permanent shot, and so they just let us have a study hall time to discuss. After that morning, that was the thing we just talked about the whole day here at school.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, Rangers. Bye.
Thank you.
Now let's go to World News with Julian.
Hi, this is Julian with your World News. In commemoration of the victims of 9/11, many cities across the United States are conducting services to pay respect to those who lost their lives on this fateful day. In the epicenter of New York, an in-person reading of victims' names will occur, as well as 6 moments of silence recognizing when both World Trade Center towers and the Pentagon were struck. Additionally, President Joe Biden has proclaimed September 11th, 2024 as Patriot Day and a National Day of Service and Remembrance. That is it for your World News Rangers. Now back to your anchors.
Thanks, Julian.
To honor those who lost their lives on this horrific day, we would like to hold a moment of silence. Please take the moment to think about the innocent lives that were taken on that day.
Now let's move on to some announcements for the week.
Rangers, there is a game at Don Cook Natatorium for water polo against Hightower. The girls' game starts at 5:30 and the boys start at 6:45.
If you're on any sports team and interested in letter jacket sizing, will take place 1st to 4th period.
Today is Pizza Wednesday. A slice for $3, 2 slices for $5, and a box for $15.
Now let's move on to weather with Encore.
Hey Rangers, it's Encore with your Ranger weather. Today's temperature will be around 87 degrees but feel like 95. Expect cloudy skies, around 78% humidity, and a 24% chance of rain. We should also see winds at around 14 miles per hour. Tonight the temperature should drop down to 71 and feel like 81. Chance of rain should also drop to around 8% and humidity will rise to 84%. Wind speeds will drop to around 10 miles an hour. That's all for your Ranger weather, and back to the anchors.
Thanks, Uncle.
Tomorrow is theater, showcasing the Comedy of Errors show in the CHS Auditorium at 7.
Also tomorrow, Spanish Club is holding their first interest meeting after school at 3 in room 2520.
They will also hold info for the Spanish Honor Society.
Interact meeting will be held after school in the upstairs lecture hall.
UIL Science and Chemistry Olympiad interest meeting will be held Thursday and Friday at 3 in Ms. Zuber's room 2132.
This is it for CTV. Now let's go to a message with Miss Baker.
Oh, hi Rangers. Has anyone ever been in a position where you're talking to someone and they're on their phone and you feel like they're only 50% engaged with you? Well, that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today in the Harbor series is a digital detox. So I hope you enjoy our second video of this series. Teachers, at this time, if you will close out this video and you can click the link in the video that came from Mr. Clayton for the Jostens Harbor series. Thanks, Rangers.